Manlet. So right. Had to get my tea. Yeah, truth seeker, you know what? You are seriously fucked up. I hope you know that. Whatever it is that is your driving force to cause problems with people in this community, like I stand behind my first comment on your channel. White knighting for these crazy bitches is going to lead to nothing but your destruction, dude. So, you can fuck off. You are not welcome here. You seriously need to go get some help for your PTSD, okay? Figure out why it is that you would rather listen to lying crazy bitches and white knight for them, because that's a serious problem that you have, dude. So anyway, I have a couple things to share. And you know what? I was gonna start yeah, red pill pope. Why wouldn't you be? Are you white knighting for crazy bitches? You don't seem the type. I was going to share and dissect some of Ash Thought's stuff, which I will do. But first, I want to kind of draw some attention, to the community of men that seem to be about suicide awareness and blah, blah, blah. This is a story that just broke here this week. Somebody that I've been following since they announced his disappearance, because I know a lot of people don't, I guess, consider what I try to point out as reasonable or useful for anything, but these Texas A&M faculty senate meetings that I consistently fucking share and keep my eye on are full of people that are responsible for shit like this. So I'm going to play a couple little clips of something that I don't think enough people pay attention to. And I'm going to show you why this is a thing.
Station police confirm a Texas A&M student reported missing last week has been found dead. Tanner Hung's body was found in Austin. He was last seen Friday in College Station. Tanner's family told us he was supposed to be graduating, but fell short of the degree requirements. No word on how he died. Austin police is handling the investigation.
So, fell short of the degree requirements. This young Asian man that was supposed to graduate ended up going missing. So, now, the shitty part about this is the exact people that are responsible for co-signing on graduation are the same fucking crazy bitches that I call out on a consistent basis. So, this shit show right here, these mentally ill fucking social justice warriors vote on this shit. Each one of these, professors or deans or what have you are responsible for a fucking department. Now, I'm gonna play again why I drive this shit home, because the shit that Texas A&M is currently being sued for, finally, is a policy to get more Hispanic people in faculty positions. Now, it excludes the application from white and Asian men. That was their first fuck up. They posted that pretty much white dudes and Asian dudes need not apply. Now, for that to get to that point, it has already had to been going on behind the scenes for years, and it has been. I mean, what do we look at our universities? Now women are graduating 2 to 1 men. Like there's twice as many women graduating than men. That's not a fucking coincidence. We have feminist university professors with their academic freedom fluffing some students' scores and oppressing others. And that young man just committed suicide because he literally didn't make graduation. He thought he was going to. Like, that's a big fucking deal. He's not the only one. This shit happens all the time. You should see the suicide rate of our young. It is the worst it's ever been. So, I'm going to play this, though, because these are the kind of people that vote on who gets to graduate and who doesn't. Just to remind everybody.
Next item under new business is the proposed resolution on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Secretary Epstein, please read and move the resolution.
Whereas Texas A&M University this year became a Hispanic serving institution, and whereas the university's efforts to enhance diversity, equity, and inclusion were a critical component of reaching that milestone, and whereas the university still has significant work ahead to help other underrepresented groups make progress to more adequately reflect Texas of the 21st century, and whereas the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board, as part of, quote, building a talent strong Texas, close quote, has noted that, quote, in raw numbers, Texas grew more than any other state over the past decade and is one of the youngest and most diverse states in the nation. More than 95% of our growth over the past decade was in communities of color. Emphasis, if we're not advancing our goals equitably, we cannot meet these goals, end quote. The bold emphasis is that of our coordinating board. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Executive Committee of the Faculty Senate of Texas A&M University reconfirms its commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, and be it further resolved that the Executive Committee supports the goals of programs such as ACES and ACES Plus that aim to diversify the ranks of faculty to better represent our state and our student body. I move approval of this resolution, attachment D2.
Is there discussion?
Senator McGill has his hand up first.
Yeah, I was just wondering why it says the executive committee and not the whole Senate in the resolution.
Senator McGill, I think that would be an appropriate amendment for you to make. We wrote it initially for the executive committee and then brought it forth to the full Senate, deciding that that was the more appropriate way. So if you wanted to move that we amend it to simply remove executive committee and replace it with faculty senate, that would be an appropriate thing to do now.
Okay, then I would like to move that we remove executive committee and replace it with the Senate.
I second.
Okay, is there any further discussion on that proposed amendment? Then Senator Klein, would you launch the poll?
Just a second. I figure out how to relaunch it again.
But just a point of clarification. Just a point of clarification here. Are we voting on the
Every
friendly amendment
time.
that Senator McGill put forth? Or
Yes,
are we on the whole
yes.
thing?
Just on the
No.
amendment, this is not approving the resolution yet.
This is,
Every time before they vote, there is a woman that always speaks up because she doesn't know what the hell's going on. She has in her mind, you know, which way she's going to vote, obviously. But she doesn't know which one to pick every single fucking time.
Okay.
simply voting on the proposed amendment that would change the language and say that this is the full Senate.
I'll give it a couple more seconds. There are people still adding their votes to it. Okay, I believe we're stabilized, so I'm going to end the poll and share the results. Can you see that, Dr. Rice?
Yes, I see the percentages.
So it's 74 for, 1 against.
74, 1 against. I think that 1 against would be Adam. 'Cause he's about to speak up, actually.
Thank you. Then we'll move on to discussion on the full resolution.
Senator Kolozinski has his hand up.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Klein. I believe that voting on or even debating this resolution is extremely unwise because one of the programs it endorses is subject to litigation. Someone has sued the university alleging that the ACES Plus program violates the Civil Rights Act of 1965. Weighing in on a program that is subject to litigation, whose outcome is highly uncertain, is an extremely bad idea, as we are not court and we are not lawyers. Some of you may not want to hear this, but quite a few legal experts think the case against the university has a reasonable chance of succeeding. The plaintiff's attorneys are not some fly-by-night hacks. One of the lead attorneys, Jonathan Mitchell, served as the Solicitor General of the state of Texas for 5 years and has argued 5 cases before the Supreme Court. He's also been on the law school faculty at Stanford and the University of Chicago. Many of you, I am sure, are diametrically
Buffering. Sorry, guys.
opposed to his politics, but it would be very foolish for you not to acknowledge that he is a highly knowledgeable, experienced, and successful litigator. Someone of his caliber does not take a case like this unless it has a reasonable chance of success. A professor at UC Berkeley Law School, John Yoo, as well as a sitting federal civil rights commissioner and professor of law at San Diego State, Gail Herriot, have both publicly opined that the plaintiff has a strong case. Now, I'm not a lawyer, and neither are most of you, but I think you need to take seriously that several formidable legal minds think the plaintiff's case is strong. I realize that other lawyers have been quoted saying otherwise, so it's no slam dunk. Nevertheless, if you are honest with yourself, I think you cannot help but conclude that there is some significant probability a court will rule the ACES Plus program is illegal. I don't know exactly what that probability is, but it certainly is well above 0. Now ask yourself, how would it make this body look if we ended up endorsing a program that turned out to violate federal civil rights law? Do I need to remind you all that higher education features prominently on the agenda of the upcoming legislative session, and that we are going to be receiving an unusually high degree of scrutiny this time around. I'm sorry, but in this environment, it's just not prudent for us to be endorsing a program for which there is a risk it will be ruled illegal, especially when a majority of state legislatures would probably disagree with the program, even if it were legal. What's the upside of passing this resolution? This case is going to be decided on the legal merits. Our opinion is irrelevant to the court. So if you support the ACES Plus program, what good could this resolution possibly do for you? As a financial economist, I see all risk and no reward. Now, some people might answer me by saying the resolution doesn't endorse the possibly illegal ACES Plus program itself, but only its goals. Well, I hate to break it to you, but the lawsuit alleges that one of the goals of the program is one of the things that makes it illegal. I'm talking about the goal to, quote, move the structural composition of our faculty toward parity with that of the state of Texas. I took that verbatim from the ACES Plus memo NK sent out to the deans back in July. That means the resolution as written is explicitly taking a position on the merits of the lawsuit. I submit to you that we are not a court, we are not a jury. Very few of us are lawyers. We therefore have no business inserting ourselves into such litigation. But I'll go a step even further. Even if this ACES Plus goal is legal, and several independent legal experts I've spoken with personally think it most likely isn't, it's immoral in my view. According to the Diversity Office, 15% of our faculty are Asian. But that only counts Asians who are US citizens. If we were also to include the international Asian faculty, by my very rough estimate, Asians are around 20% of our faculty. Now, do any of you all know what the Texas population of Asians is? Yeah, it's about 5%. So Asians are overrepresented among our faculty relative to Texas by a factor of about 3 or 4, depending on if you use the 15% or 20% estimate. If you are serious about supporting the ACES Plus program goal of moving the structural composition of our faculty to parity with the state of Texas, then we are effectively supporting the replacement of 2/3 to 3/4 of our Asian faculty solely because of their race. If you support this resolution, I ask you, which 3/4 of your Asian colleagues do you want to get rid of? Or do you instead support making most new faculty positions one to which Asians need not apply for like the next decade? By the way, that's what the ACES Plus program does. It creates new faculty positions to which no Asians need apply, and also Irish. It's kind of funny. We're back to the point in our country's history where Irish need not apply either, it looks like. But that is what the goal of the ACES program, the ACES Plus program of structural parity is going to require. Is NK Anand, one of the architects of the ACES Plus program and an Asian, willing to resign his position to bring about structural parity with the state population? And this is, of course, nothing to say to all the white senators who support this program. Whites aren't overrepresented on our faculty to nearly the degree Asians are, but they're overrepresented nonetheless. Are all you white supporters of the ACES Plus program willing to step down so that we can move toward structural parity with the state of Texas? Somehow I doubt it. Before you vote, please reflect on how this resolution will support the immoral goals of the ACES Plus program will make our Asian colleagues feel. Will it make them feel welcome? You know, would it make you feel welcome if you know that your group is overrepresented by a factor of 3 or 4, and the university has the goal of bringing the university to structural parity with Texas? I doubt it. I can in fact tell you that many of my Asian constituents are pretty damn angry about it. In fact, a lot of my constituents of all ethnicities are pretty angry because many of us agree with the 70% of the American people and probably a higher percentage of the Texas populace that it is grossly immoral to make hiring decisions on the basis of race, no matter what your lofty goals to rationalize it may be. Perhaps some of you support this resolution for the purposes of virtue signaling, knowing well that it's not going to impact the outcome of the case. Well, The polling data suggests most Texans, the people we serve, will think you're vice signaling. Please think about that and its political ramifications in the next legislative session before you vote. Thank you.
Senator Hill Price has her hand raised.
I am almost speechless. I think that that was extraordinarily offensive, and but you're entitled to your opinion and to your freedom of speech, and I appreciate the fact that you have that.
Liar.
I absolutely disagree with the things that you said. I support this resolution, and so I'd like to talk about that again, pointing out that it doesn't say that we are specifically supporting those programs, but programs that are things such as that, those examples. I hope that we can help support our DEI initiatives and intent from our university and support the coordinating board initiatives to be able to better represent the people of the state of Texas who are paying for our services and paying taxes to support us. And so I would encourage you to support this resolution. Thank you.
The people, the men who are paying taxes, by the way, predominantly men. Yeah, this dean of engineering feminist with the let me speak to the manager haircut said it. She disagrees with all of it. Yeah, and that was extremely offensive. Right. Bullshit. Check this out, though. Check out the little voting procedure. Okay, 71 people voted earlier. So, check this out.
I move
Rusty.
to vote. Does anyone have a second?
Why don't you just hold off a moment, Tracy? There are no other, no one has their hand up. So I think that at this point we can move forward, and Senator Klein, would you launch a poll?
Speaking of microaggressions,
Sorry about that. Wrong button.
Biden just, did he just sign a $500 million bill to fund an AI technology or research to...
Are we voting for the resolution or what are we voting for?
Now it's a vote on the full resolution as amended to reflect that this is the position of the Faculty Senate, not just the Senate Executive Committee.
Hashtag why women shouldn't be voting.
I'm sorry, Dale. So you're saying we're voting, if we vote yes, we're in agreement of supporting the resolution as a faculty whole?
That is correct.
Okay,
Obviously. We know what she voted for. Yeah, let's support more racist and sexist
There are still
fucking
a couple
policies.
votes coming in, so we'll give it a couple more, a little while longer.
They don't care, though. They think their jobs are safe. They're pretty convinced that they're fucking safe because they're women, for one. It's really hard to fire
Okay, does
women.
anybody else wish to cast their votes? It's being pretty stable here. Okay, we just had another vote be added. Okay, it hasn't changed, so I'm going to end the poll and share the results. So it's 54 yeses, 12 noes.
54 yeses. 54 ideologically infected feminists that only had their job based on such policies. Because before it was all race focused, it was focused on the sexes. Now these women that got into these spots are in a tough spot themselves because they know deep down that they are only sitting their asses there currently because of a policy similar to what they're currently voting on. So 54 people voted to support it after what he just said. It looks like 5 people didn't vote that voted before, but only 12 people voted against the new resolution. That's how screwed up this is. So, the same kind of people that are responsible for determining who gets to graduate and who doesn't. Same kind of people. I mean, I'm not saying that this young man's suicide was because he was discriminated against, but it very possibly could be. Tanner. Yeah. But good thing his sister is going to honor her brother by going to Texas A&M University. So. Right. Right. Right, Outlaw? Yeah, you know how that guy voted, right? It is. You know what? I'm going to play, before I do some dissection of ass thoughts, stupid bitch ass, I'm going to play something Bullets talked about, because I'm gonna show you a literal example of what he's talking about here. A literal example.
Elspeth, I step. You're not helping anybody. Last night, MGTOW Cowboy didn't help anybody but the feminists. They're happy. Scorp thought. Who's that other bitch?
Ash thought.
Elspeth. I step in Elspeth all the time. Get on my boot. I gotta scrape it off with a fucking wire brush. You know, that's who MGTOW Cowboy helped last night. You know, they love it. They love it when there's a cockfight. They love it. They flick their bean to it. They love it. You know, that's what I saw last night.
Yes, they do. They fucking love it. Perfect example. Right here. This crazy bitch.
Guys who are older who can't get laid and
I'm like
only want 9 or 10.
Oh,
this guy goes on a whole tangent about like fucking, oh my god, this is what him and Alex were having an interesting discussion.
MGTOW is all about gaming and getting women. That's not MGTOW. What is this guy talking about? This guy has the terminology upside down.
Yeah, the terminology is not quite there. I like him all right though. He all right.
MGTOW is the opposite of that.
Basically.
Men going their own way, not men going towards women. I mean,
no, there are MGTOW.
Oh, I'll gladly kick him.
Wait, you kicked out someone?
No, not the butt buddy. I mean, I don't like Hormaxer's people, anyways.
Okay.
Chronic said he'll join. Yes, I'll drop the link.
Chronic said he would join if they got rid of the Hormaxer dude. He also said he would join after they did the rating of the chicks. Yeah, I'll join after the woman judging competition. So those are the only 2 things I saw him say I'll join after. Yeah, are we done talking about street meat? Keep that in mind, because this crazy fucking man-hating bitch right here takes something super out of context. I don't know if she misread, kicked the WM butt buddy off and I'll join. I don't know if she saw that and got, oh my God, he's talking about women again. I mean, maybe she took that comment as personal, but her demeanor completely changes though.
He doesn't even contribute much anyways, this Snorlaxer guy. He just sits there and plays Pokemon, and that's all he
Who
does.
does?
The
Look at her
Snorlaxer
face.
guy. Okay. Yeah, he's just that guy that sits there while Hormax is
He's
like,
that fucking guy, that guy. That
that's
fucking
all
guy.
he
Undead
does.
says I was MGTOW before I was a ye
Yo, yo, yo.
spermatid. Hi,
There's
Undead.
Chronic,
How
and
are
we're
you?
waiting for Ganstar.
It's spermatid. A spermatid is what a sperm is before it fully matures.
Yeah. There's
Look at her.
Ganstar. Yeah, I don't know. So Ganstar is like. an
Wait, hold
interesting
on.
fellow.
Undead, this is the first.
Just watch Ashley's body language. She fucking hates the fact that Chronic is, I think, so much smarter than her. She is not a fan. I think because she can't manipulate him like she can this young dude and this Mr. Slave dude.
First time I'm talking to you. So you don't think that you're a terrorist?
I mean, I don't use violence to achieve political ends, so no, I'm not a terrorist.
This is
Oh,
great.
that's good.
Oh, why do you think I'm a MGTOW? I'm very interested in that.
Wait, didn't you claim you're a MGTOW?
I've never claimed to be a MGTOW.
How do you categorize yourself?
I mean, red pillars will say I'm red pill. Some black pillars will say I'm black pill. What I'll say is I'm concerned about building a strong family. Right, I want children. I don't look at women
Oh, that
as
Australian guy.
I don't look at women saying like, oh, I just want to have a lot of sex with beautiful women. That's like the pickup artist thing, and that's like the black pill thing. That's not me either. Now I'll talk about smashing like hot goth girls, but like these non-virgin women I sleep with, I'm not interested in having a family with them. It's just when I'm at the bar and I'm drinking, it's just what happens.
Wait, so you want
thanks,
a
bro.
family? You want a family with one wife?
A strong family, yes.
What do you mean strong? What's a weak family?
So a weak family is a family where the woman divorces the husband and then that family breaks, right? A weak family is where the woman's in control. She doesn't submit. She, makes a lot of decisions. Now, submission is an interesting thing. You tell a woman you want her to submit. She imagines you like going Mike Tyson on her jaw every night. That's not submission. Submission is deferring to the man's choice after a discussion.
How are you going to?
So she can't take a joke, obviously, but she's gearing up to go on the attack.
Accomplish this.
Oh, no hymen, no diamond.
He doesn't know.
No, yeah, no hymen, no diamond, right? So if
He
you
lost
look
a virgin.
If you look at divorce rates, the type of woman who divorces the least is a virgin at marriage.
Who says?
The American Institute for Family Studies looked
Very
at over
flawed
10,000.
statistics, Mr. Slade.
And how are they flawed?
Every
Do you wanna,
statistic is
no.
flawed.
Let's talk about how they're flawed. Do you have an idea of how they're flawed?
Yeah, I have an idea of how
No.
all statistics are flawed and how they're made. I don't agree with them.
Okay, so the statistics showing that ampicillin destroys gram-positive bacteria, how are those statistics flawed? Because those statistics are the backbone of antibiotic research. How are those flawed?
That's not statistics necessarily.
Yes, it is.
Ashley,
it is.
He's got a good point. Ashley, he's got a good point.
It's kind of how it is. That's
He
how
does have a
Okay. Do you think scientific research doesn't use statistics?
Ashley, he's got a good point. It's okay. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Mr. Slave, I know he does, but I also have a good point.
Oh, Mr. Slave, I know he does, but all about that equality. I also have a good point. I want to be fucking relevant. See, that's what these dumb bitches are all about. Hello, Edith. No, she doesn't seem to be the trust the science kind of person. Where's Hermit? I might I might do a little augmentation to his trust the science meme. No, she's just super fucking combative.
Let's hear your
No,
no, let's
Ashley,
let's give Ashley the floor. Let's hear how it's wrong.
What do you mean? No. Let's hear what
come
Ashley
on.
has to
It's
say.
I mean, you
See, Mr. Slave, I would say, is right on that. I mean, Greg wants to see a fight, and I don't think he's so much interested in fighting with Chronic. Greg wants to hear what Ashley has to say, obviously. She's on his fucking panel all the time.
I trust. Let's go with your stats. Okay, so fine. So you think you're gonna marry a virgin? You only want one wife?
I mean, maybe if I live in a certain part of Utah and I have a couple, it depends on how many resources you have. I think one's enough. You live in the West. Social media is around. More than one, you gotta handle a lot of stuff. And with the current government, with the current police state, I think one is going to be good.
What do you do if she drops papers on you?
Well, there's an 18% chance of them dropping papers, right?
So why are you getting into this?
Because you want because it depends on.
So I'm not going to play the whole thing because Ashley pretty much fucks off because I think she realized she's a bit out of her IQ league in this discussion. And these guys weren't really fighting. So I'm going to fast forward, though, to, let's see, 4:31.
I said, I'm really glad I got premium because I wouldn't get matched without it. And she's
It's
like, oh, don't say
petting
that about yourself.
zoo.
I said, no, that's genuinely how it goes. I average about a like and a match a day. And
zoo.
this is kind of the difference. Absolutely no hate meant by this, but ladies, if you're on Tinder, I need you to watch this. This is a Tinder profile.
You missed it, man. Chronic was debating Slave, and then we had Hormaxers people coming in and talking shit on Chronic, and apparently they tried to fly Chronic stream. It was crazy.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I got a text from Michelle. Well, I was like in the middle of doing a whole bunch of shit, so I couldn't drop off. Part of me really wanted to drop what I was doing, come on, but I had a feeling that if I came on, it would be turned into too much of a shit show because there would just be too many people. So I felt like I would just kind of like, I don't know, like debate block Mr. Slave, which I didn't want to do.
Yeah, Slave was like, Greg, can you let me debate Chronic? I was like, okay, sure.
It was so boring though. Like
I know people were falling asleep.
it was so boring. Like I left, but
Wait,
Alex,
how the fuck a debate between those two could be boring? How's that even possible?
Well, if you're looking for a cockfight, something to flick your bean to, it's going to be boring if the guys aren't fighting. I mean, they were actually having an intellectual conversation about values, principles, and trying to compare some different things. I mean, I would say Chronic more than Mr. Slave. I think Mr. Slave at what point was talking about like printing some human DNA to change the DNA to grow humans in a chicken egg. That's a good idea, kinda, but yeah. Boring. Because there was no fighting. So, listen to this, though.
Was Mr. Slave just like really bad and like asking the same question over and over again?
it was very.
They were like not even talking about anything. They're just not making sense. He's like, "What? Name two things." He's like, what do you like? Alcohol, margaritas, or this?" Miss Lay's like, "I don't drink." He's like, "All right, name two things that you like." So he eventually went to vanilla ice cream over chocolate ice cream.
Literally,
it's just so random.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that was a comparison Chronic came back with because Mr. Slave was trying to pin Chronic down on the number one reason why he wants to have a family. And he said it was a multifactorial reason, many reasons why. So, yeah, he was comparing it to that.
Mr. Slave is not a good debater, and he's
Alex, I just showed Greg the picture of the dude you helped me pull tonight. Thanks, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
you got laid already?
Huh?
You got laid already?
No, it's for Friday.
Oh, I was gonna say that was fast.
Magic. No, that was good.
It's for Friday.
Yeah,
He's hot. He's a hot dude.
I was surprised you said you were struggling on Tinder, Ashley. I was like, damn.
Well, I didn't have my profile down right.
All right, I'm gonna fast forward through the petting zoo shit because she wants to talk about sex.
And there, and it's like, hey.
Literally, it's like
Teach wants some dick, you know.
Yeah, I was surprised that you weren't killing
I'm
it.
laughing.
So I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this. So the debate with Slave and Chronic was boring, huh?
It was like lame. It was like they were talking about like the same shit, and Slave was just at. He thought Chronic was a terrorist. He's like, "You're not a terrorist." He's like, "You're MGTOW," and then Chronic's like, "No, I'm not MGTOW."
Mr. Slave didn't really go in on him though. Like
It wasn't heated at all. It was just like
No, not at all. Like,
No, not at all.
Oh,
it was so boring. It was just so.
Dude, you should set up a debate between me and Chronic. That will 100% get heated.
Dude, let's do it. Let's. I'm all for
Whatever.
it.
Chronic was being such a little bitch though. He was like I was on panel and he was like, I'm not gonna come on until the female stops talking.
You kind of went off on him a little bit, like when he was there. You're like, "Fuck."
I don't recall that. I might have to go back in the chat. Again, I saw him say, I'm not coming on until they're done talking about the females, and then Hormaxer's butt buddy. So I think she's taking that a little personally.
Fuck you, Chronic. You
For 2 seconds.
It was like 5 seconds.
Yeah, well, he deserves it. And then
I don't blame you, but
he was like,
See? He deserves it? Like, I don't think he deserves that.
like, I'm not gonna get on the panel if Snorlaxer's on. Like,
oh
he's
yeah,
so,
this one
he's got,
format.
he's not a
Snorlaxer?
Is this guy
He's
who
not a
like
big
plays Pokemon and he's one of Hormaxer's
without his panel and his audience behind him, he's not a very big man. I will say that.
Oh yeah. Yo, Greg, next time he's on.
Says the feminist who has severe fucking insecurity problems. Severe. She keeps fucking with her hair, that neurotic bitch. Hello, Rishi. How are you? Yeah. Hello, Uncle Guns. Yep, beyond predictable, isn't it, Bandit? Isn't it? They are beyond predictable. Let's see. Her need to be right wasn't satiated. So she did shut the fuck up and fuck off and let the men talk. Which, you know, that's what she should have done to begin with, but then she starts talking a bunch of shit afterwards to her. What is this guy? Alex, playing with fire. That's her mentor. He just sorted out her. Right, Rishi? You can't negotiate with terrorists. Crazy bitch, emotional terrorists. Can't do it.
Here, like he's in the chat, say that I
Yeah.
want to hate him, and say that if he doesn't do it, then that I think he's a pussy. I actually already think he's kind of a pussy, but
He'll debate you.
But he'll be even more of a pussy.
See how giddy she gets when he's literally talking shit about Chronic? Like, she's flicking her bean as we speak. She's pre-gaming for her Friday night dick date that she has lined up from Tinder.
I want to fucking debate that little Ganstar faggot.
Yo, I want to see that.
That dude wrote me.
Ganstar was on earlier.
Yeah, I saw that.
Ganstar was on too. Ganstar was
I
on
was gonna
too.
say you just narrowly missed Ganstar.
Oh, Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's yeah, dude, I really want to come on, but I felt like there would be just too many people.
Yeah, I respect that. It was like, I mean, I should
But
show
I
the video.
thought it was going to get heated as is. Like I didn't know there needs to be like.
No, it was tame, man.
I thought we already had. We had
Well, here's
fucking
what-
Ansel, Ashley, and Mr. Slade. I thought that was like a very volatile combination.
It's like,
What?
so Undead Chronic literally, like, there's a video of him saying, like, that Ashley chick's pretty cool, except she's friends with Alex, and he's a pickup artist and a dating coach, and so I just.
I must have missed that video. I heard Chronic call her a crazy dumb bitch. That was funny. Really? Yeah, we should talk about that, Hermit. That's fucked.
Just can't get behind that, blah blah blah. But yet here he is modding for Greg's channel, and Greg is one of your biggest fans. So I started to call him out on that, and of course he wouldn't
Call him out on. Hold on.
comment. Your biggest fans. So I started to call him out on that, and of course he wouldn't comment.
He wouldn't comment. What is he supposed to say? Greg gave him a fucking wrench. Does he actually spend time there and like time people out or ban people from the chat? Chronic doesn't seem the type. But Greg gave him a wrench. Like, what is he supposed to do about that? Exactly. Or comment.
Fuck off. It's because I have a vagina. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
No, it's because you're a crazy dumb bitch, Ash thought. Like, it's because you're a combative fucking feminist. An annoying one at that.
I don't think he wants to debate me directly. He wants to have like
No, he
proxy.
doesn't. Yeah.
He wants to have proxy debates with like people who know me instead of just like having a discussion.
Except
with me.
Greg, like he talks about like, oh, Greg's fine, even though but his argument made zero sense, and I tried
Me
to
and
tell him.
Chronic had beef. So you want to know how me and Chronic's beef literally? It was like so weird. So like after he raided your stream, Alex, I went to his stream and I started spamming it, and then he's like, "Wait, don't kick him! Don't kick him! Do this, let him on. Here, beta, beta, beta. Here, beta, beta." So after that, I was like, "Whatever." I left. I made a video on Chronic. So Chronic actually commented on it, and we had a whole little war in the comments. Like, calling my show, calling my show. So then after a while, he was just going on my streams, and we just squashed the beef, and then we became cool. Because like he went from like hating this guy, like fuck this guy, I don't like this guy, to just like okay, we're chill. But yeah, I don't know what his ideology is. Like, oh, you're a pickup artist, you're this, you're. I mean, dude, who cares?
He has some really cringy beliefs. He's like,
here we go.
I don't know why he says he's not MGTOW. You know, like his beliefs are very similar to MGTOW. He says that he claims that he's been successful with girls. He's hooked up with a lot of girls. I don't buy it for a second. But he says the only kind of girl he's looking for is a virgin. But he admits that they don't really exist. So, i.e., like he's gonna stay fucking lonely forever. He also has like some cringe. I don't know if he believes full on that women shouldn't vote. I don't know.
He does. He does. We debated that.
Oh, he believes women shouldn't vote?
Yes. Appeal the 19th. Yes.
Yeah.
hold
all
on.
These, like really fucking cringy. Like.
Should I say appeal the 19th?
Appeal the 19th. Yes.
Yeah, so he believes like all these like really fucking cringy like.
Yeah, women should
Not
not
format for kids.
He 100% believes women should not vote. That was one point of contention I had with him.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
It makes me a radical feminist because I believe women should vote.
I mean, I think 99.9% of people think that women should vote.
Yeah, exactly.
99.9% of people think women should vote. I would actually challenge that because I just shared some feminists that have been doing research into the manosphere, and apparently they're identifying 27% of American men as MGTOW. So that's kind of a thing in the MGTOW community. The repeal, not appeal, Ash thought, you stupid bitch. Repeal the 19th Amendment. So I would have to tend to believe there's more than more than less than 1% of people in the United States that don't think women should vote. There's a lot of women that I know personally that have never voted and don't think women should vote. So, yeah, these feminists. So taking away unearned privileges from the majority of crazy bitches that give no thought to what their vote actually does for greater society because they don't have the ability to even think that far outside themselves. Much like Ash thought. I would never trust Ash thought to vote for anything that would impact in any way anybody but her fucking self. So that little sex crazed whore is a crazy bitch. Well, she's a feminist though, right?
Yeah, it's stupid if you're trying to say women shouldn't vote. That's wait. So what was that? Fuck, I forget what I was gonna say.
So these two dudes are also feminists. Well, I agree. Well, voting has gotten us in a lot of trouble. So that's pretty much all I wanted to share. I wanted to kind of tie in what Bullets was saying earlier and show an actual literal example of a feminist literally applauding and cheering and hoping to flick her bean to a cockfight. So seems like Alex playing with fire seems to be up for the task. So yeah. I did get I did share, hold up. I did get one of her, I don't know, what do we call them? White Knights. He reminds me of a super masochistic, like, I don't know. He's been outwardly, let's see, yeah, traditional masculinity officially labeled harmful by the American Psychological Association. Yeah. But this dude, this radical coder, had some things to say. And I hope to have a conversation with this dude because he seems to want to educate me on some things. And I want to know why he's a feminist. Yeah, check that out. The main thrust of the subsequent research is that traditional masculinity marked by stoicism, competitiveness, dominance, and aggression. See, I think stoicism and competitiveness isn't a bad thing, but dominance and aggression are the two main things that drive the feminist narrative. Like the female dominating and aggressive, man-hating bitches. I mean, dominance and aggression is literally under the definition for bitch. So it's almost like they're trying to put in radical Antifa. I don't know, Woody. I want to know where he got these strange ideas. That men socialized in this way are less likely to engage in healthy behaviors. For example, a 2011 study led by a fucking feminist found that men with the strongest beliefs about masculinity were only half as likely as men with more moderate masculine beliefs to get preventative health care. Journal of Health and Social Behavior volume. I mean, at least he's citing his sources. I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that. But this other PhD found that the more men conformed to masculine norms, the more likely they were to consider as normal risky behaviors such as heavy drinking, using tobacco, and avoiding vegetables, and to engage in these risky behaviors themselves. So he's got a couple little, and then he said seems reasonable. So these risky behaviors here, although they are, you know, I mean, I don't agree with the avoiding vegetables part, but, you know, overuse of tobacco products, drinking, aren't really good for your body, but neither is the overuse of anything. So, especially porn. Porn's a big one in the fucking petting zoo culture. So I know there's lots of studies about that, how terrible that is for your health. But I said, spoken like a true feminist puppet. And I asked him if he debated Chronic yet, because he said he wanted to debate him. And I said, yeah, I'm the puppet while you tell the men in your audience exactly what they want to hear, despite measurable harmful impacts on their lives and the lives of those around them. I'm very curious about this. What exactly does he mean by that? I did ask him. I said it sounds like a conversation more suited for a live stream rather than the comment section. I'll be showcasing a miserable sadist later, and you're welcome to join the panel if you have time. I was talking about his Queen Ashthought. I didn't say Ashthought, but she is a miserable fucking sadist. So in this example, it's that angry man-hitting feminists at the APA don't want men to be masculine, rather than simply recognizing how uncritically instilling some of these values in young men can produce harmful results. Not sure I can join today, but we'll see what I can do. So I think he doesn't really understand what my primary focus is on. Universities, feminists, and the psychology of the world. Because the APA is literally running things. Running our society into the fucking ground. So. So yeah, I look forward to having a discussion with him. If he'll come on my panel and have a one-on-one. If he's not too afraid. I don't know. We'll see. It's actually a song that popped up in my algorithm today called Toxic Masculinity. I don't know if I could play it. It's a rap song. I shared it in the Discord, but I think I'm going to close the stream. No, ayahuasca. Nope. Have never partooken. I just want to close this stream with another fucking reminder. Yeah, Yita said he was gonna stream. Unless anybody wants to come up and comment on the things that I shared tonight. But give you guys a chance to figure it out. All right, Kush is gonna fire one up. Okay. Yeah, laugh more. Let's schedule that. I wanna hear. I want to hear about. I know we talked about it in the comment section a while back. I'm pretty much good for after 7 Central Time during the week. So if you have your schedule, I'll put it on the books. Okay. Oh, she's not here. I don't know if she is. She might be outside. By the way, good to see you. It's been a while since you've been around. Yeah. All right, Laughmore, go ahead and just let me know in the comments. Or if you're on Discord. I don't know if you're on Discord. Actually, I'm going to remind you again. The kind of people that make these decisions at the university. Right. You guys, if you have time and want to go show some support for Adam Kolozinski, there's the link to that. These guys at the university, I don't think get enough. Don't get enough support. And they're literally in the pit of fucking vipers. And have to deal with these crazy bitches.
Says that it was actually rolled back. So I'm not sure it's even supposed to have been on this consent agenda. So we might need to verify that it's even.
Now, moving on to speaker comments. Colleagues, I'd like to take a few minutes today to discuss an issue that has many of us concerned: the mental health of students, faculty, and staff. Student government has been actively engaged in this issue this semester, working on ways to address the challenges that many students face. And I expect that in the spring, we will be working on a number of proposals together. 10 days ago, I attended the monthly conversation conducted by Faculty Affairs. One thing that was clear after the 90 minutes of discussion was the amount of stress and anxiety many faculty are feeling, particularly in their efforts to balance family life and work.
Stress and anxiety. So he did mention student and faculty, but they spent the rest of this talking about the mental health of the faculty. Like, fuck the students. This is the ball that keeps getting dropped at the university level, the psychology department.
Then last Friday, several senators met with Nancy Farnwald, the Associate Vice President for University Health Services, and Connie Langelier, the Associate Director of Counseling and Psychological Services, to discuss ways faculty might engage in helping students who are facing challenges. We left the meeting with 3 action items. 1, we're going to devote our January Senate coffee session to the state of mental health on campus. That will be a time when you can bring up issues you'd like to see the university address. We will be inviting Dr. Farnwald and others to join us that day. 2, in February, the Senate and CAPS will jointly sponsor a workshop on how to talk to students in crisis, which we hope will be the first of a number of workshops aimed at assisting faculty who want to learn more about addressing student mental health issues. 3, the same group that met last week to discuss student mental health issues will meet again in January to explore the mental health challenges that faculty face and ways to address them. I hope we can.
So, student mental health. This is what, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. Meanwhile,
An update on missing Texas A&M student Tanner Hong. His family says the 22-year-old's car was found yesterday in West Austin near the Pennybacker Bridge at Highway 360. Crews are expected to be deployed Monday to search that area. APD and Texas DPS are currently working with the family to locate Hong. He went missing last Friday after turning his phone off around 8 a.m. and getting gas around noon in Caldwell. His family was on their way to attend his graduation that weekend and was supposed to meet Hong for lunch that afternoon. However, Texas A&M University tells us Hong was not qualified to graduate. If you have seen Tanner Hong or know where he could be, call Austin Police or Texas DPS.
so that was 4 days ago. 2 days ago, they found his body. So his parents were on their way up to come see him graduate. And he wasn't eligible or qualified. And you know what? I blame these fuckers at Texas A&M exactly for that.
Develop a plan of action in the spring to address faculty well-being. These are not the easiest. Senator Laporte.
Like this one.
Hi, Senator Laporte, College of Arts and Sciences. I don't know how to say this. I've got 2 things I want to say. I don't know how to say this without it coming across as being angry white woman. But if you watch these Senate meetings, you'll notice that men are called doctors and women are called by their first names. And on the agenda today, we have people that are called doctors that are not doctors, and women who are doctors who are called by their first names. So I'd just like us to be a little bit more thoughtful in how.
Thoughtful. You know what? What just came out of her mouth is just a different version of what I just heard Ash Thought say about Chronic. Seriously. I'm not included enough. I'm not seen as equal, blah, 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 blah. So, yes, I think she's actually, I don't know. She might be Kiwi. She's an anthropology professor. So, she's always bringing this shit up. And she's about to white knight for a, I don't know, non-binary faculty member or staff member or something. Not a student. Somebody that actually, I think it's a faculty. She keeps using the term they. And I know it's a fucking woman because she slips up one time. but she's got a late onset mental health problem that she needs accommodations for.
How we address people in the Senate and the names and the titles that we use. I know that I, for one, have been wrong in the past and apologized afterwards. The second thing I want to talk about is going back to the mental health issue, specifically mental health for faculty. I recently had a constituent come to visit me who has been diagnosed with late onset mental health issues, primarily brought on by COVID and isolation and the pandemic. And then I listened to how they had to run the gamut of the system in an attempt to get accommodations in their classroom to accommodate this late onset diagnosis. And a lot of that involved disclosing personal information to administrators that they were not comfortable doing. And I wonder how long it has been since we have actually visited that process and whether or not it is a fair and equitable process for faculty, administrators, and students who require accommodations to be successful at this institution.
So yeah. Right. I remember that. Well, that's it. That's all I'm going to share. Because everything everybody always fucking argues about is so downstream from this, and this causes it. I mean, Ash Thought, for instance, she has the same attitude that this crazy bitch has. Wanting to feel important in a space she probably doesn't really belong in. I mean, Ash Thought can be a whore all she wants. Like, she's in the petting zoo culture. Nobody really cares as much about that, but well, they're getting their rocks off. The rest of the world is falling apart. So, yeah, laugh more. Let me know. I have to pee really bad, so I'm going to end this. I don't know. Does Kush have something going? Oh, here we go. Yeah. Okay, starting in 11 minutes. Here's a link. So, I did notice that Truth Seeker is on quite a tangent. I've been ignoring him because he literally said that he's only tagging me to grow his channel. He's literally using me to grow his channel. So, and he's so infected. He's got so many crazy bitch hands up his ass, working his mouth like a puppet. So, I feel really bad for that guy. Really bad. So, these crazy bitches prey on the most mentally and emotionally unstable people. They got to Angler because he's a fucking alcoholic. But this guy seems to be sober and behaves like that. I know he's very isolated. Very isolated. And I know he has extreme socialization type of anxiety. So that dude's pretty alone. But Scorp thought already knew that. That's why she let him on. She went to him and flirted with him and led him on to believe that there could be a potential relationship in his future. So she even made comments saying that Oki and what's his name? Oki and Truth Seeker, she would pick one of them over Hermit and Real Talk. Like, That's it's a big deal. So that guy's currently working through a heartbreak because she fucking dumped him. And I think could be after what Kush uploaded. You know, finding out how fucked up that guy really was and how obsessed he was over her. I think she decided to take a break from the internet. But yeah. That guy's in rough shape. And I feel really fucking sorry for him. So, it's crazy bitches. All right, I'm going to end this. I will see y'all over at Cush's. You guys have the link. Later. Thanks for coming and participating in the chat, and laugh more. Definitely want to have that chat when you have time. I'll make it happen on my end, okay?